Welcome to the Infinite Library. These were the words carved into a marble sign at the entrance of the room. A man stood a few feet away, questioning why he was there. What brought him to this place? Was it some urge deeply embedded inside of his mind? Was it something different, something more sinister? He had little time to think of the matter before fate called him. Without the slightest hint of wrongdoing, the air had been replaced by something different, something thicker. Each passing breath became more difficult, to the point where it was a miracle for him to still be alive. A few seconds pass, and another sensation overrides his senses. The library, a place with no living mind or body, began pulling him in. With no other options in mind, other than to sit there and wait for the very air he breathed to choke him to death, he enters. Each step he makes echoes through the ever-expanding halls. The higher his eyes travel, the more the sensation of the unknown washes over his body. His mind began to wonder. Who made this place? His fingers ran along the bottom row of books, gliding with a sense of wonder to what each of these pages may contain. A light catches his eyes. In the center of the vast library lies a single glowing book, resting upon a wooden stand. It beckons him in. By the time he realizes it, he was already inches from its cover. Out of curiosity, he grabs the book, lifting it from its wooden stand. The cover seemed to breathe with life, dare I say pulse with it. After much internal debate, he opened the book, being greeted with a human hand. It stretches from the pages, reaching further for the heavens itself. Out of sheer shock, he drops the book. After a few more seconds, another arm stretches free from the confines of the paper housing. Both of them began to claw at the ground, trying to free itself. A face was the next thing to break free, gasping at the air. Gah! Just give me 1 second. I need to take a breather. Phew! Okay, here we go! With a quick pop, the girl was free. She jumped onto her feet, quickly brushing off the dust from her white dress. She was short, only about 5'4". The dress was a velvet white, stretching just above her ankles. Her hair was a pure gold, reaching below her butt. At the center of her chest rests a green emerald, hanging from a golden necklace. After cleaning herself off, she showed the stranger a warm smile, reaching her hand forward as she spoke. "The name's Lyric. Pleased to meet you, sir." Her voice sparkled with delight, giving off a sense of life in this silent room. Was it still okay to call this a room? Hell, the man has yet to see a single wall separating this library from the outside world. His mind jolted back into place, looking down to her outreached hand with a face of mild confusion. She pulled it back, responding with a, "Not a handshaking type of guy." "That's fine." Her eyes began to scan across his body, as if looking for something. She spoke once more, rubbing at the tip of her chin. Doesn't look like you're any type of scholar. You're far from a warrior. Maybe you're lost. Did you lose your mommy?" He angrily leaned forward, shouting, "I'm not that young!" She jumped back in surprise, letting off a soft giggle afterwards. "I like you. What's your name?" He stood there for a moment, searching his brain for an answer, only to come up short. "I'm not sure." She looked to him with a blank stare, before letting out an uncontrollable laugh. "You really are a lost boy, aren't you?" He grit his teeth, watching her laugh away. There now, little boy. You came to the right place." He calmed down, watching as she jumped onto the wooden bookstand. With a roaring voice, she proclaimed, "Welcome to the Infinite Library. All future and past events are recorded within these walls. All we need to do is look." Her voice echoed, seeming to go on forever. The man looked to the ground in defeat. "I'm going to die here." "There's no time for you to be gloomy. You have a lot of books to go through." She jumped down, grabbing him by the arm before running off, dragging him shortly behind. "This is going to be a great couple of years. Just kill me." And another. Both of them began to crawl at the ground. Both of them began to claw it. A place was gasping for air. Where was I? He calmed down, watching as she jumped onto the... Okay. Where was I?